All of Florida is drained and polluted, and it's costing us.
The more phosphorus you add to Lake Okeechobee, the more algae bloom you're going to have.
They want to find somebody to blame. It's all of us. It's every single one of us. If you live in Florida, you're part of the problem.
Coast to coast, north to south, it's the farmers' fault. Well, who are the farmers? Well, we're the farmers.
It's midsummer, and Dr. Paul Gray is going out on a lake that many have labeled toxic.
Really, the high water and the nutrients are not the problem, they're the symptom of the problem.
Blue-green algae blooms appeared in Lake Okeechobee early this summer. Scientists say the algae is harmful to humans and marine life.
Part of this, you're trying to figure out what exactly is causing the problem.
And the problem is that from here to Orlando, where this watershed starts, the watershed's extensively drained, so the water comes to the lake too fast, and it's very polluted. And so when it gets here, it's polluted, and it starts this bad chain of high water, algae blooms, nutrient enrichment, estuary dumps, and all that stuff happens, and it starts in Orlando, essentially.
That pollution, one element, phosphorus. The recommended level of phosphorus discharge to the lake is 140 metric tons annually.
For the last 40 years, we've averaged about 500. But even if we stopped everything today, we think we'd still have 500-ton years for the next 20 to 50 years.
But where is it coming from, and how does it get into the lake?
So then when they're on there and they go through the cows and they wind up in cow manure, and then whenever it rains on that and it dissolves, then that phosphorus can, be used. The rainfall is basically a vehicle to get it south into Lake Okeechobee. And unfortunately, then it could go east and west into the tributary.
Farms and ranches dominate the land north of Lake Okeechobee. 50% of the area around the lake is defined as agriculture.
And the biggest contributors are the dairies. It's coming from row crops. A lot of it comes from cattle ranches.
Wes Williamson's family has ranched in Florida for more than a century. He knows his land contributes to the problem, but he meticulously measures how much phosphorus comes on and off his land every year. And he says other ranchers do the same.
Most of them are very concerned about the environment on their property. Most of them are very proud of the environment that we provide.
Despite efforts, 97% of the phosphorus that ends up in Lake Okeechobee comes from the north. It's statistics like this that frustrate Robert Hammock.
Whenever you cut a piece of cane open, it's not like pixie dust falls out of it. Farmers take a lot of the blame for any and all problems that happen in South Florida.
Hammock is a sugarcane farmer. His stalks go straight from his farm to the factory of U.S. Sugar, one of a handful of sugar companies in the state, also known as Big Sugar.
I don't know what to think about the algae. I wish it wasn't there. I don't know what the cause of it is. I didn't put it there.
Big Sugar is often pointed out as the problem behind this environmental mess. But the numbers don't lie. The land east, west, and south of the lake only add up to more than 2% of the total phosphorus that ends up in the lake. The majority of sugar crops are east, west, and south of the lake.
This is my life. This is what I've wanted to do. It's our family business.
There's one part of this equation we haven't included yet.
The amount of human solid waste that's being dumped in Florida is staggering. And again, the farmers ended up getting blamed for it, but a lot of it's coming from the cities.
Dr. Gray and other scientists around the state say much of the problem in Lake Okeechobee comes straight from humans.
Human waste, we all know that dairies have a lot of pollution come out of them because all the cows and they poop and pee. Cities are like a dairy, and a lot of people are on urban water supplies, and they're in an urban, their water goes to a waste treatment plant somewhere. You flush the toilet and it's gone. Well, if that stuff's carried up here in a truck and dumped, then you didn't get rid of your waste problem.
484 metric tons of new phosphorus ended up in the water of Lake Okeechobee this year. And the community says this issue isn't going to be solved with silence.
There's two parts to communication. And one of the most important part of communication is listening. And as a cattle rancher, I need to listen to those concerns of those people living on the east and west coast.
Everyone needs to listen because everyone plays a part.